Nisha. Sorry for the little bit of a delay. This is the feedback for your video a few days ago. Let's start with a Hinkey Dinkey Parlez-vous. Such a silly little name of a song. I think yes, I wrote please play the first two lines both hands. So let me just, I'll play it once through. I don't think you have any problem reading the notes correctly. I'm quite sure you're fine. So left hand starts on the, the G, the lower G, and then right hand is around the middle C area. And octave higher. Okay, that's the first line. Next line. Right hand, thumb at middle C. So this part to play seamlessly, it's a little bit tricky because you are overlapping a lot more this time. Earlier, this time it's the same D. So you will have to right hand over. So there's a lot of position change throughout. So do please get used to that. And even the first... right hand is going to approach above the left hand. So get high. Similarly. Okay, so those are the first two lines. Next, I think I wrote, yes. Oh yes, so here I have to explain the line 3. So we're at line 3 right now. Line 3, and this part I believe everybody has a little bit of an issue because it is rather tricky because of the many hand position changes. So let me just play once through line 3. It doesn't sound like much, but the first measure, the beat, the first 3/8 note value. That's the first hand position. Next. And next. So that's what I usually ask, everybody to practice. So the line 3, the first measure, the first dotted quarter, and the following right hand 8th notes. So you want to be able to play. And then the next, still in the first measure. And then the second measure, I think you can play all of those notes. Left hand 2 of them, and right hand 3. So you can do, that's the first 2 measures. And you play the measures 3 and 4 similarly. So you're playing all of them as chords. So 1, 2, 1, 2. That's what I always, recommend everybody to be able to do. These are broken chords. And instead of playing them broken, I would like you to practice as blocked chords. So that's line 3. And line 4, these are literally blocked chords, but rapid succession, and the first measure is all staccato. Okay, again. And broken chords. This whole song, there is a repeat at the end, but for the time being, do practice in parts. So practice the first 2 lines, just the first 2 lines by themselves, these 2, and then practice just the 3rd line, And I think the fourth line, the main practice will be just these two measures because those are rapid succession chords. Not easy to grab, you know, because they're so fast. Okay, and for the time being, I think it's good to practice everything around mezzo forte so that one thing about chords is whenever you have, you know, notes that you have to play, multiple notes, keys that you have to depress at the same time, you really have to play them exactly at the same time. You know, you don't want to do that. You don't want that. And rhythmically accurate. Next one. The next one, well, line 3 is technically going to be broken, so I'll just omit that. I'll jump to the fourth line. Okay. And those are all the unblocked chords that you just have to make sure that they're rhythmically very accurate. And same thing goes for all the eighth notes, you know. Make sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't want any of the fingers to come out longer than the, you know, the accurate eighth note pulse. Okay, so that's Hinkey Dinkey Parlez-vous. And oh, so before you get to that, yes, I wrote in the feedback email, definitely practice a G major so that your mind is in the G major. The chords are really important so that you're listening. Because that's the only chord that's missing. Everything else is in the, you know, the Hanon chord. So yes, practice with the chords, please. Now to the Gypsies. The Gypsies, the main thing I think I wrote down is real. Okay, so before we do, just remember. So mind in the A minor, G major and A minor are just really neighboring starting notes. So it's really helpful to make sure that, to play the scales first. So that part, this is a measure 17 through 20. And you want to be able to do that whenever, just, you know, after you wake up in the morning, go up to the piano, play that, say, okay, got it, and walk away. And then, you know, after breakfast, you come over to the piano, play just that. Just to make sure that you get it every single time. And then if your left hand seems to be good, add your right hand. So make sure that is nailed. Okay, next is the thing about the left hand. You know, this piece has a lot of pedal markings that are already written in, and I'm not 100% certain about how the pedaling should be done. So for the time being, we'll just say there will be no pedal. I'm not a fan of these pedal markings that came with this particular edition. I've seen other editions that have different pedal markings or that are a lot less, a lot fewer. So because of that, the left-hand staccato will be heard very well. Without the pedal, you're going to hear the articulation much more accurately. So all of page 2, you want to just maintain that staccato. This is regardless of what the right hand is doing. Right hand has staccato sometimes legato, but the left hand has to maintain the same articulation. where all the left hand will maintain the staccato. So actually you can, practice up till there. That'll be a good place to stop, just so that you get your left hand articulation all good. So that's the and lastly, the last part I wrote on the notes, I think, is the right hand for page number 3, starting on measure 58. I think I said I wrote especially to practice measure 62, 63, 64, 65, and measure 70, 71, 72, 73. Those are the trickier parts. And it says grazioso and piano at measure 58, which means you want to play gracefully. It is a piano, but for the time being, just so that your fingers know exactly where to go to, and that you actually get, back to similarly to the Hinkey Dinkey, where you play chords, you want to make sure that they're all played exactly at the same time. And actually this part gets a little bit trickier once the left hand comes in too, because you have way more notes than just, one for right hand, one for left hand, right? Most of the time you're playing 3 or 4 notes, sometimes 3. Actually not 3. 3 or 4, 3 or 4. I guess you don't have to play. Oh yeah, you do have to play sometimes 5 notes between the 2 hands. So and when the right hand and left hand are not exactly matching, when you have this type of chord heavy segments, then you don't want to lose the rhythm aspect of it. And the rhythm, especially when you have a lot of notes to play all at the same time, and if your hand is not centered, it's hard to play them exactly at the same time. So make sure okay, I've been playing a little too fast. I'll slow down. So and that part particularly, if you play faster, it's not easy to make sure that they're all even sounding, especially when you have like one black key, one white key. The black key, I think, will tend to come out louder because the position is higher. And the bottom of the key, as you know, when you hold down the black key, the bottom of the key is actually higher than the surface of the white key, and then the white key has to go another 1 centimeter further down. So because of the height difference, it's actually quite difficult to make sure that you have a combination of black and white keys that are chords to sound like just one volume. So do practice. And then the last 4 measures of that section. That part. I wonder if you can do that fingering. So here you have 1 5, and this is 2 5, and then this is 1 4. So if you have a hard time reaching, you don't have to do the 2 5. You can just do 1 5 1 5 1 5. Oh, wait a second. You do want to play that. So I'm actually looking at this page here. So that's measure 71. 71. The 4th beat of the 4th 8th beat. So you have that 8th note, a quarter note, and then the 8th note. So it's that 8th note. It says 4 over the top of the D. And then that D with a finger 4. I think that's actually important that you do play that with a 4. If you have a hard time doing the 2 5 there, 1 5 is fine. But the next one, definitely you want to play with a 1 4. And that 5, now I'm looking at measure 70, 71, 72, at measure 72, beat 2. So the third 8th beat. And there's a B flat with a pinky fingering on it. I would actually advise you, I think a 3 is better. So I think putting a pinky in this case on the B flat, which is a black key, may lead to sliding off. So I would actually prefer 5, 4, 3. And I think I gave you a particular metronome marking. Yes, I see. I wrote at 100 for every 8th note. It will be quite a bit slower than what you're comfortable. 100 is right here. Okay, let's see. So I will play the first one, the measure 62 to 65. And that's the measure, the first of them, and then the next one. So that's 100, and do practice 100. Oh, yes, and of course the whole section 58 to measure 73 at the same tempo at 100. So that's, I guess that's it. Yes, so those are the main pointers. If you feel like you have extra time, you know, after practicing the G major scale Hinkey Dinkey, A minor, and then this, you can absolutely get started on the left hand for measure 58 through 73. The left hand goes. It's actually quite busy. It is like the combination of what you've had previously there, but I think it's a little bit more complicated in terms of where the hand position need to be. Like, yes, that's a lot of hand positions. So left hand you will definitely have to practice by itself, and if you can, definitely memorize the whole progression. It's the harmonic background for the right hand melody line, and if you have one wrong note, it's not going to line up very well. It wouldn't sound right once you get the right hand together with it. So do practice left hand alone if you have extra time. Okay, so that's it. Good luck. Bye.